Hi, I'm a constant reader wannabe, and the 14th book that I have read from Stephen King is Night Shift, the original collection of short stories. Now, the video today, we're gonna rank them from worst to best. Without further ado, I'm gonna give my overall ranking of the book. I did a weighted average based on the pages of each story, and I give this book an overall score of 7 on 10. A 3.5 star rating. I thought that overall this was a really fun book to read, and there's some stories that really shined in this collection, and others were strange, and some were mid. So let's get into it. The worst story of the bunch, and I'm sure it's the most polarizing, is The Lawnmower Man. I give this a 0 on 10. I normally never give a story a 0 on 10 or 1 on 10, but this is the weirdest thing I've ever read from Stephen King, and it's strange, dude. I don't need to know about a guy, mowing grass naked and he's eating the grass and shit like that. Like that's too funky. That's not for me. It's just bizarre. You can give it a 1 on 10 if you want, but I'm certainly not giving it more than that. 0 on 10, maybe a bit too harsh, but like, dude, that's not good. Next on the list, I Know What You Need. It's like original simp energy, but yeah, not good, not good. I didn't care for it too much for the amount of runway that it had in the book, so I'm gonna give it a 4 on 10 or a 2-star read. So already massive jump ahead from The Lawnmower Man, because again, that one was horrible. This one, not so bad. Another 2-star read, but slightly ahead, was Sometimes They Come Back. But overall, again, the plot and the characters, just not really memorable. But again, the atmosphere and the setting definitely were, because yeah, I went to high school and I know what it looks like. So yeah. The next story, a 5 on 10, The Last Rung on the Ladder. I thought it was mid, I thought it was fine, pretty forgettable. Next story on the list is Night Surf. Now, I haven't read The Stand yet, and I know a lot of people are very fond of the story because of The Stand, but for a short story, I just felt like this was not my vibe too much. We're climbing up the ladder at a 5 on 10 score with gray matter. That guy, the gray blob eating people, eating cats and shit. 5 on 10, I thought it was fine. I was kind of neutral on the story. I felt like if I was like younger, I would definitely be more freaked out by it. Next one on the list, as well as a 5 on 10, is I Am the Doorway. 5 on 10, it was fine. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. So the next story on the list is The Mangler. I give it a 6 on 10. It just squeaks in there as a 3-star read. I thought it was fun. I thought it was an interesting story. What I find interesting about it is that it's a very unique idea of a haunted, like, industry washing, machine kind of thing that folds people into some freaking crepe. The next 6 on 10 story from Night Shift is Graveyard Shift. I thought Graveyard Shift was a good story. It was fun to read. I'm not the biggest fan of rats. I'm not necessarily like disturbed by them, or else I thought maybe like the creepy factor would have gone up and maybe would have bumped up the story. But it's rats, dude. Good vibe, good atmosphere, fun read. Definitely would suggest you reading it. It's good. Trucks. Trucks is another 6 on 10 read. Really interesting concept of like haunted trucks killing people and shit, and then they're using like Morse code to like communicate with people. I thought it was kind of funky. I thought it was kind of interesting. Okay, the next one, that's a 3-star 6 on 10 read, is The Ledge. However, I'll say this, I didn't like the whole idea of the mob boss being outsmarted and shit. Dude, come on, bro. He fucks his wife, and he gets this guy to fucking do the ledge too. Come on, bro. First 7 on 10 read is Strawberry Spring. Really interesting. Got Jack the Ripper vibes. The ending, interesting twist. I'm not sure if I like it. I don't hate it. I think it's decent. Definitely one of the better ones in this collection. Another 7 on 10 read was The Boogeyman. Going into this story, I was like expecting this to be 4-star, 5-star, maybe. The only cringe part I thought was just the ending, how like the doctor that was like talking to him was the boogeyman. Bruh, just no. And that's why it's a 7 on 10. Another 7 on 10 read, The Man Who Loved Flowers. This one, real short, but took a real hard turn at the end, finding out this guy is the deranged serial killer, bludgeoning women with his hammer because he thought that his girl Norma was the girl that he was seeing, but in fact she's probably already dead. It could be an 8 on 10, but I'm just feeling a 7 on 10 is good enough with this story. Certainly one of the more visceral and bloody stories in this collection. Quitters, Inc. Could be a 7.5. It could be a 7.5. Definitely it's between that. It's a solid 7, light 8 story. These, rankings, again, like I've said, are a little bit fluid. So again, if you think I've underrated a story, let me know in the comments. I'm sorry, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good story. Okay, we're getting closer to the top. Another 7 on 10 story, One for the Road. I thought it was a fun story, an interesting concept of it being in the winter time with vampires. I've never really experienced that in a book before, but it's good. It's good. Adds to the lore of Jerusalem's Lot and is certainly a must-read in this collection. Now we're in the top 4. Number 4 is Battlegrounds. But the fact that there's toy soldiers trying to kill you, and at the end the guy ends up getting killed by a toy nuke, absolutely insane. Concept was interesting, the delivery was fun, I was laughing, the emotion was there. And that's really what sets these 8 on 10 plus reads with below, is like, it's a good story, but am I feeling the emotion? And that is why Battlegrounds is a 4-star read. Another 4-star read, 8 on 10. The third on my list, it's again interchangeable for these 8 on 10 reads. The Woman in the Room. Man, it hit me with the feels, with the main character going to the hospital, seeing his mom just not doing good after some surgeries, and he's trying to unpack the guilt that he's probably gonna feel if he's gonna euthanize his mom by taking painkillers. I felt that connection with that character just because, yeah, as you grow older, you realize your parents, your grandparents are not invincible, they're not immortal. And I thought this was a really good short story that did not need to be longer, that was fully fleshed out. It is fantastic. You always want the bookend and the first story to be really good, and Stephen King delivers on this one. The second and final story that we're going to talk about is Children of the Corn. Another story that is very memorable in my mind. An 8 on 10, 4-star read for sure. Dude, I'm a fan of religious zealotry in books done well, and the fact that it was kids trying to appease this demon, this monster in the cornfields and killing all the adults. Dude, just, oh my God, I love it. I love fall time. I love going through corn mazes, dude. Kill me in a cornfield with a scythe. I don't care. That's the way I want to go. Let it be a haunted scarecrow. I want it to be something like that. It is great. The atmosphere was fun. The characters, specifically the protagonist, whatever, fine, nothing special, but the antagonists, the mystery there, the emotion, I felt the mystery, I felt the creepiness, I felt the tenseness when he was walking into that clean church that was like the only building that looked, in proper working order. It was good. I like it. I wish it was a full novel. And the final #1 spot with no competitors is Jerusalem's Lot, a fantastic prequel for Salem's Lot. And it really dove into that eldritch horror of, I don't know what the hell is going on in this house, but something's there. There's some massive secret that's linked to Jerusalem's Lot, and all the other people in like the surrounding area are thinking that I'm cursed, I'm haunted, that I should leave because I'm bringing some ill omen. I love it. It goes into why Jerusalem's Lot is a magnet for evil and why Hughie Marston ended up doing those sacrifices and killing his wife and himself, and how Barlow, ended up there in Salem's Lot. The ambiance, the energy, the atmosphere, the setting, 10 on 10. The story, fantastic. I love when like it's hard to discern and decipher what the evilness is in the story. The mystery was there. The character was interesting enough where I didn't think I needed more from him, because it was everything all around all the other characters that really were like the sum of their parts was just fantastic. But yeah, this is the best story in the collection. I certainly hope that people will agree with me that it's one of the strongest stories in this collection. It doesn't have to be your favorite one, but I hope it's in like your top 5, hopefully. Because I've seen some people say it's like, oh, it's a really bad story, and it's like, bro, what are you talking about? It's good. So that being said, thank you for watching the video. It means a lot if you came all the way to this point to see if your opinions were validated or are challenged with the subjective rankings that I've put in this video. If you like the video, give me a like. If you really, really like the video, consider subscribing. We're always talking about books, bigger picture reading subjects, and Stephen King. And yeah, I'm slowly getting through all of this bibliography. If you have any comments, any arguments about my ratings, let me know. What are your opinions? What are your favorite stories, your least favorite stories? One of the best things about reading is everyone's different tastes and stuff, and it's really, really fun to see what people like and dislike. So I'm really curious to see what you think about Night Shift. And as always, Stephen King, forever.